Congressman Eric Sorensen released a video on his Facebook page shortly after Saturday's shooting, describing what happened as different, and it was a murder and it should be called that. He adds, "We can and all should be supportive of law enforcement, but that also means that the standard that law enforcement must follow the law." Darren LaHood also released a statement saying yesterday's shooting is deeply concerning and demands a comprehensive and transparent investigation. He adds he supports the mission of federal law enforcement, but officers must be held to the highest standards to maintain public trust, and any use of force must be lawful, justified, and subject to full accountability.